Oh, gratitude today. Yes, sir.
But the house on the market on Thursday got a full price offer Friday. Oh,
Nice. Fantastic. Awesome. I love it when I hear dollars associated with it.
Yeah.
That means money in the pocket. Yes, sir.
I had, buyers go under contract yesterday, I had some buyers being like, now they're going under contract. I had to- That's fine. While I was helping out, raising game, and I just filed a buyer, they're paid it, buy it themselves, so we're gonna make that deal. Here Thursday.
Wow. That is fantastic. That's even better than Hackford. What do you call it? Quadruple deal.
I don't know.
Yeah, I forgot one. Who else has got the credit?
My gratitude is for you, Dana, because, your 90 listings in, 30 days, 30 listings in 90 days.
No, 90, let's be sorry.
I got Mississippi education. I for the call day, and, I reached out to people on a normal call that you never would reach out to. And I got an appointment and I had the listings done.
That, and I'm hearing a lot of great stories from that. I heard Nina, she put somebody, well, go ahead, you tell her.
I got a new buyer and I showed them 8 houses on Sunday, we went under contract.
And that was. Thursday's call, so I love that, I love that. Who else?
I was gonna say thank you for introducing me to Edinburgh.
At my left?
The-
Do you love
yeah,
them?
Yes, yeah. Very positive, free.
Yeah, you might need some tissue sometime.
Yeah.
This morning was the.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, I had to reapply again when I got here. so
Uh-oh.
It's okay, it's all good. Anybody else? I'm thankful for all of you. I had a birthday yesterday and so much love and so much, I mean, overwhelming of, wishes and all of that. So thank you so much for a special day. It was very, very nice. So I'm very grateful. Anybody else before we get started?
I have a personal one.
Yes.
I'm thankful for my husband. He bought me prize plane tickets to go visit my son-in-law.
Oh, wow. Nice. Love it. Love it. All right, and you know, they've said you can't be grateful and what is it, mad or upset at the same time. So when we start with gratitude, it puts us in a better setting. I really, really, truly believe that. So if we have a habit of gratitude in our personal life too, I have a gratitude journal. Refocuses your mind, it refocuses your day, and it gets you started on a right foot. So I really believe in gratitude. So, anyway, so thank you for sharing all of that. We don't have a breakfast spot, so do we?
No.
All right, we did not forget. Oh, my goodness. Yes, you are.
I am grateful, and I'm also grateful for celebration.
Yes.
For the, the reason that we all come together, that is gratitude. So anyway, celebration, as you know, is our celebration for Thanksgiving. It will be next Thursday from 11 to 2. Apparently the calendar still has, next Tuesday, that's a Thursday for Thanksgiving, from 11 Thursday. Next Tuesday, apparently on the calendar it still says we're having a team meeting. We will not have a team meeting that day. We will, arrive there at 10:30, we'll eat 11 to 2, just, have fellowship and enjoy. The one thing that we are going to do that I did not know we did last year, I forgot about it, is we're going to take up funds for Families First. Some of you may remember Red Day, we sponsored them, and we did Mother's Day for them, that's what we did. So what we're asking for is if you can donate $25, if not, any amount is welcome. And then we're going to turn it into gift cards and donate it to Families First. Nina, and I haven't texted that she volunteered to be my assistant, so. I'm taking that to heart. Oh.
I'm out of town.
I'll be you, no, not permanently, I'll be you before, but anyway, so Nina. So Nina, we don't have her Venmo on there, but we'll write it up here. She's gonna collect, and she's gonna handle that part of it for us. Can you come to the board, please? Teacher, school teacher. So anyway, we still need people to sign up. We have a lot of folks that signed up for like drinks and plates and stuff like that, but we wanna have something to, Put on eat it. with the drinks and put on the plate. So if any of you love to cook, then we need some vegetable dishes.
Wait, where was that?
You may have, okay, you may already have. And if you've already signed up, thank you so much.
So that means, just as a reminder, the week of Thanksgiving, which is the following week, right? Are we doing on Wednesday or on that Tuesday? We're just doing like did we decide that? Oh. We'll get back.
Okay, so that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, anybody have any questions?
What's Families First?
Families First is a Hispanic,
It's
Organization.
It's not for, they do a lot in Gwinnett County, so they, do a lot with, education, parent education, that's kind of their big thing, they do preschool. For kids that can't afford to go to school, but they are at St. Patrick's, and we like to help them with Thanksgiving. So we are gonna turn all your donations into $25 gift cards for Kroger or Walmart, so that they can have a Thanksgiving dinner with their family. But they do a lot of good. I can send you their website. You can learn a little more, but they are a great organization. It's actually been around since like 1873 or something in Atlanta. But they do a lot of good stuff.
And Brandon, we did the Mother's
did the
Day,
Mother's
and we
Day.
also did a school drive.
We did. And then, last year for the holiday giving, we also sponsored 6 families, I think there were 19 children out of those 6 families too, and we bought, holiday gifts for all of those kids too. So it's a great organization right here in our community. It's right down on Beaver Run, and it's at headquartered at St. Patrick's.
And the person who runs it is one of the nicest people and so grateful for everything.
She's so
Yeah,
grateful, and I reached out to her about Thanksgiving again. She was like, I was praying for an angel this morning, and emailed me. I mean, so they are so appreciative of anything we can do. So if you can't do a $25 gift card, if you can do $5, $10, we'll turn them into the $25 gift card and help as many families as we can. Have a nice Thanksgiving.
Good. All right, thank you.
Thank you, thank you. All right, let's do a little quiz. We went over last week some, models from the MREA. Who can remember what model 2, and if you answered last week, you don't get to go. If you answered correctly, you don't get to go. What is the second model of the 4 foundational models in the MREA book? Close. Did you get it last week? Okay, I think you did. You did. Anybody? What did you do last Thursday for 4 hours?
Lead generation.
Yes,
I think Terry said it first.
yes. So it's the lead gen model.
Get 100 grand.
So the first one is the economic model, which we also went through the Life by Design, right? And if anybody didn't sign up, because I didn't see any names on the board for anybody that wanted to set up a time. So if anybody wants to still do that, to go through a Life by Design model for 2024, let us know. First one is economic model. Second one is the lead gen model. These are your foundational models for your business. That's why it's important to know them, right? So does anybody remember the percentage of how many people remember only one agent, one real estate agent in their like world at the same time?
67%.
Very close.
76.
76%.
We're so close.
Sorry.
It was last-
Just a little bit. It's
I'll go
70-something.
with this much.
All right, so 76% of people remember just one agent. in their life. And that's why when we do lead gen on a regular basis, it's important for us to create top of mind with our database. What are the two types of people in our database?
That's
That's
not
not
next.
That's awesome. And who's a not met?
We don't like it.
Somebody who haven't met, what would that look like?
Like the Facebook post.
Yeah. Facebook or a farm,
Instagram, or.
a farm, right? A not met. You can actually add a farm into your database
Yeah.
and call them a not met, right? And you reach out to them differently than you would a met, right? So your met is people that love you, your sphere, people that you've worked with, your past clients. You would reach out to them at a minimum of how many times a year?
30 seconds.
Thank you, that's awesome. 36 times. You're not met, you might reach out to how many times a year? 12. 12. You would start with 12, once a month, and that could look like with a smart plan from our command system, it could be a neighborhood touch, right? A neighborhood monthly newsletter, a neighborhood update on their home value, right? So these are the two bases of our lead gen model, two ways to differentiate our database. And that's important for us to know, because it's foundational for our business, right? Okay, awesome. That is fantastic. You guys are doing amazing. And what is next? Oh, no. Okay, I want to hear a story from Tanaya. You guys remember what we did?
I just went running on my boat.
Remember when we all texted 3 people a few weeks ago? What was it, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
3 weeks ago. How many of you actually did that? Love it. Tanaya, why don't you tell us what your results were that day?
Okay, so I did 10 people instead of 3, and I got 4 pieces of business from it. Now, some of it was people that I have been nurturing since May, but they were on the fence. And for some reason, when I sent this, I got the response back like, yeah, let's go do this. And so I have a meeting today. We're gonna go, it's a new build, so we're gonna go pick out all of our finishes and run the contract on that. I have an appointment today, actually, at 12 o'clock to do a listing as well. I have pictures today at 9 for another listing, and another buyer. So, and again, like one of the people, was one of my previous clients that I decided to send this to just to see if he was interested. He wasn't, but he sent me a friend that was getting ready to work with a new build and said you probably should work with her. And so we're gonna do that on the 9th, that's tomorrow, day after tomorrow. So that's all the business I got just from that one set of emails.
Wow. Is that like this and we're like, I'll do it later. What is the cost of not doing something really powerful? It could be 4 transactions. So everybody take out your phone. And text this one, happy Tuesday. This is Dina with Keller Williams Chat North. I'm sure you've heard the real estate chatter. What questions can I answer for you? Or jump on the fall real estate bandwagon, or at least go hike, just having fun. But are you thinking about making a move this autumn, or this winter, or this year? And put who you are. Send it to at least 3 people in your phone, in your database, or in your work. And you can just copy and paste it to the next person, right? Okay. All right, how we do? Everybody get the 3 people?
I said one.
You said one?
No, one.
Oh, you said one. I thought you said one of them. I'm like, what? You didn't get a response yet.
Just for type it all.
Be like, Joe, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, as soon as somebody gets a response, I don't care where we're at in the meeting, raise your hand and go, I got a response. Got it? Okay? Because I want us all to celebrate when we have responses. Okay, before we move on to our alliance partners, I want us to just recap real quick about our 90 and 30. So the entire market center is like one big team, one big family, right? We're all one big family. So we said, you know what, let's all play together as one big family.
I got a phone call.
I could get the phone call. So we've divided the whole market center into teams, right? Your team captains are either ALC members or other leaders in the market center to be able to lead the group. So you probably got text or WhatsApp group messages or emails from your team captain throughout the week from last Thursday saying, hey, this is your team captain. We're gonna be on a competition, blah, blah, blah. So I wanted to make sure that you were aware of what that was. A lot of people are like, we don't know what this is. Well, this is what that is, right? So based on that, you heard Tony say that he's already had success. Terry's team set 19 appointments that day. 19 appointments. If we're looking to crush the end of the year, if we're looking to really move into action, that day, from what we counted, it was 20 appointments that we had counted together in that room. 20 appointments. Now, if we're really looking, if we're looking to really increase our business, it is about proactive activity. And sometimes the energy of being together really helps us do that, right? So we're gonna do that again before the end of the month. This competition runs through the entire month of November. 2 winners are going to take family reunion tickets. Okay, so I wanna make sure y'all know what the stakes are. We're also gonna have other prizes. That day that we had the whole call day, we gave away, prizes. We had a lot of fun together. So we're gonna do another day like that to really just bring the energy to be able to keep going strong and to create more business, because that's what we're in business for, is to create more business for all of us, right? Okay, awesome. Who we have first? Oh, I got you. Okay. Oh, Kelly. Where's Kelly? There we are.
Good morning, you guys. Good morning. If you don't know me, my name is Ashley. I'm the receptionist and post-closure at the Token Historian, as well as the agent here at Chat North. I just wanted to tell you guys that Ashley will be teaching a class tomorrow about divorces at 10 a.m. So we hope to see you tomorrow.
Awesome.
Maybe we can run some classes coming up the rest of the month. I love this name. Ashley and I, love it or list it, working with buyers and sellers through diamonds and divorce.
That's cute. That's good.
And then we got the Murder Mystery Book Club, if y'all like, books where somebody happens to get dead. This is a book club to be a part of, and then we also have New Age and Breakfast on Thursday, and then Coffee Talk on Monday, the 13th, and then, again, Flipping Mojitos that we're given, on Wednesday next week.
Okay, onward.
Morning. How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing?
First off, Neen and I are doing a clothing drive for Norcross Ministries for the holidays for people that need clothing during these times. If you guys have any extra clothes, you drop it off at our office, at the office, at our house. I'll pick it up from you, whatever. So I just wanted to start with that. I do have some good news on the rates as well. So last week rates had a pretty historic week. They dropped about half a point. So they went from about 80% to closer to 7.5. Yesterday gave back a little bit of momentum, which is to be expected after such a, pretty substantial drop. And we have some economic data coming out this week. We have initial jobless claims on Thursday, which should be a big telltale sign as well for what's to come. So as long as they get inflation under control, and what looks to be like we're entering into a recession, technically would be a good thing for mortgage interest rates. So if the unemployment rate continues to go up, which has gone up 0.5 point since April, which all economic factors are every time period that has happened, that the unemployment has rose over 0.5% within that time frame. We have hit a recession within 1 or 2 months over the last 80 years. This has happened every single time. So I would expect us to fall into a recession here soon, which should be positive for mortgage interest rates. So.
Yeah, I will piggyback on that. So, the jobs report last week is really what kind of kicked off our run in the bonds and bringing those rates down a little bit. So, what was reported was that we had 150,000 new jobs, which was less than the expected 180. So it doesn't sound like a huge difference, but whenever it's less than the expectation, that's a huge reaction to that. Also, the couple months prior to that, they had some pretty big job numbers. Those were revised down a total of about 100,000 jobs as well. So it's basically showing, it's the weakest report we've had since June. But if you in here listening to us every week, we've pretty much been saying we're just waiting for the jobs to show some weakness because that's really what's needed and what's really happening. So Hunter already talked a little bit about the unemployment and the signs of the recession, so I'll kind of skip that, but we did see unemployment rise for the month from 3.8 the month prior to 3.9, which again seemed really, really small. But what he was talking about was that just a difference of 0.5 over a period of time is really indicating, a recession. So that 0.1, we're at about, in that period he was talking about, we're at like 0.33. So if we get up into the 4s by the end of the year, that's gonna be a real sign of a recession for us, which is going to help inflation and interest rates. So the largest gains in the jobs were healthcare, construction, and government. Year over year, I thought this was kind of interesting to put in a little bit of perspective. We averaged a gain of 239,000 jobs a month average for 2023 versus almost 400,000, 399 in 2022. So when we're looking at year over year, we really are coming down. Wages, while they're still up at about 4.1% this year, compared to last year, that was 4.3. So kind of like we saw the home appreciation is still appreciating, but at a slower pace, so are wages. So all of those things are pointing toward a weakening in that labor market, which is what, from a mortgage rate standpoint, what the Fed has been trying to make happen is what they were really waiting to see.
Awesome. All right, so who saw 3.99% advertisements on listings? I know a lot of you, so you're raising your hand because I got a million texts on it. Crescent Mortgage, who is owned by United Bank, got hit with a massive fine for redlining violations. So this was basically their effort to satisfy the CFPB. They put a lot of money into this. Obviously, they're taking losses, any 3.99% interest rate that they're actually closing on. So I got all these text messages. I started doing some research, asked president of Shelter to look into it as well. Reports state that the program is ultimately almost out of funds. So they thought it was going to last towards the end of the year. This may be stopping completely soon. Apparently customer service issues were taking place because it was taking forever to get the deals closed. There was a lot of requirements for them to, kind of fit the bill. So if you guys see a listing with that, that's exactly what it is. Exciting news on recast. So recast, just to refresh your memory, is with a conventional loan conforming under 750. Clients can put a lump sum amount of money, and instead of having to do a full refinance, their payment drops based off of how much money they put down towards principal. So not every servicing company allows for recast. Our parent company has. Historically, it was 10% or more of the original loan balance that they had to put down in lump sum. So it was a $400,000 loan when we originated it. They had to put down 40 grand, and then we would drop their payment. They backed off that 10% figure, and $5,000 is the minimum requirement. So this is huge. So if somebody gets, a good size bonus or commission check, this could help drop that payment for the client, and they do remove PMI as they get to that 78% mark. Just a couple quick caveats on it is you can do one per year. So you can do one recast per year, and you cannot recast until after 60 days to the close.
One per year for as long?
As long as, yes, yeah,
So there's not like a 200 deadline like that.
Yep.
And is there a fee to recast?
$250. Good question.
$250.
Yes.
If you recast and re-emphasize that big word.
Reamortize.
Yeah.
And they'll pull, I've had clients that have put, they put 10% down originally, had 10% after they sold their house, stumped it down, and requested for PMI to be removed,
Yeah.
or remove PMI. So
So it saves a lot of money plus PMI for $250.
That's a great touch with our clients. right?
Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna get flyers pulled together.
Okay,
We just found
perfect.
out about this yesterday, so we'll get flyers.
That would-
I knew about recasting, but I didn't realize that there was an option to do it past 2 years.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Last thing, some of you guys probably got a voicemail while we're in here. I promise this isn't gonna be something we do all the time, but Renee forced me, she said, we gotta do this for the Freddie Mac panel. We have, it was slide dial, so occasionally if we get big news, I can send you guys out a voicemail. Once those rates drop down another 0.5%, I'll let you guys know, but tomorrow, the Freddie Mac panel, just as a reminder, is from 12 to 1:30. We are feeding you guys. We've got a lot of people signed up. We'd love more chat, more people to come, so please show up for that, and we're in office.
Do they need to register? Oh, yeah, Terry will be there. Cause
Terry,
yes.
Yes, Terry will be there, and then, of course, we've got the caravan with, Kim, do you want to stand up? Anything on the house?
Hey, everybody, you should have a caravan flyer around. This house is 2 miles away. Onward is providing us lunch there. So if you can, I can't sell this house. And so we're having to go back to the days of you really have to sell the house, right? We've had an open house 3 weekends in a row. The seller won't drop the price, so I need your feedback and good complimentary feedback as well as constructive. And I'll repay the favor sometime if you guys could just come by, take a quick tour and fill out a feedback sheet and have some lunch onward. Thank you for that, you guys. Thank you. I'll see you there in just a little bit. Thanks.
Yes.
Do they need to register to come tomorrow and get that, or can we just show up?
I believe that's a good.
We probably just show up. And then, right?
It is. Sorry.
That went out, so maybe we can send that out again today. If anybody wants to come and register.
Awesome. That's all we got. Thank you so much.
All right, I don't think Kelly's here. We know we love 210, so test it.
Yeah.
We have your picture now.
Good morning, Betty. Just real quick, so this week we obtained 2 new amazing insurance carriers. That'll provide some new options for a lot of clients. Also, Joe sent me a really unique deal. I just wanted to kind of give a little overview on how I was able to really help this client. She's selling a property owned by her deceased mother estate, has not been insured for over 2 years. Needed insurance, and we made it happen in a bind, and it's considered a short-term policy because obviously once the house sells quickly, I'm sure it will, the policy will cancel. So we're able to do really flexible options like that for a lot of clients. If you have something where it's a short-term policy, the commissions are not a concern, we want to help your clients. So love any of your referrals or anybody looking, out buying that wants to be prepared with the insurance quotes. Let's help.
Can you insure a home that hasn't had insurance on it in the past?
So you can, it's just your key.
Would the short term then turn into a policy that you can insure from in the future?
So unfortunately, no, hope, you know, as, it would be rewritten to a much more reasonable rate. but
Right.
The rate on that particular house was high,
Because.
but it's because there's not a history of insurance. And the
Okay.
insurance carriers, when they go and rate you know, a potential insured,
Right,
they come back and look at the history. And if there's no history, that's a risk, because, you know, who knows
what the conditions.
what the conditions are, but this house is lovely, it's newly renovated, really good condition, so.
How will that affect the new buyers though? Because the new buyers insurance people are gonna see a lack of history, right?
So no, so it will show with this new policy.
Policy, but they won't see a 2-year lapse.
Mm-mm.
Really? Because I would think the title search would show.
So for insurance doesn't go as deep as
Okay.
title.
Okay, okay.
So yeah, so generally, you know, I am 98% sure that will really help the potential buyers to then be able to save on, you know, not pay a very hefty fee.
Right,
Well, since Tessa has a history, Joe, when you sell the house, you just give them Tessa's name, right?
Well, no, you know all the details on the house, so.
Yeah. Put a nice flyer.
Are you able to run close report?
I can run the reports, yeah. So those are very
You wanna
helpful.
consider if you're not sure that it's close or damaged and you don't know if it got taken care of properly, you can ask the insurance provider to run a close report.
Absolutely.
Then you'll get the history on the insurance claim.
Yeah, I can always see, and it's very easy to run with just a date of birth and an address. And then I can see any claims that have been made on that property within the last, depends on the carrier, 36 months is generally. A couple of them go a little bit farther out, but then I can see if it was water claim, or roof claim, anything. So, you know, that can be helpful when, you know, putting in an offer or just considering helping. So, awesome, thanks.
Awesome, thank you so much. All right.
Morning, everyone.
Right, so, thank you, Nina, for setting up this text message. I love the simplicity of just getting a touch out. And today we actually kind of wanted to piggyback off that same idea. We know that there's a lot of really exciting momentum around this, what's the name, 100 listings in 4 days.
Yeah.
But I heard this analogy yesterday, the difference between hunting and farming. What's the difference?
More aggressive and more passive.
You're waiting for something to come to you. Farming, you're bringing it to yourself.
You're growing something.
Actually, the opposite, yeah.
Did I say that?
Sure. You're good, you're good.
You're growing and
Sometimes we just gotta talk through it, but hunting would be, if I'm hungry and I'm a hunter, I can go out and I can get a meal today, right?
Right.
If I'm farming, I have to plant the seeds, I have to water the soil, I have to nurture it over time, and that can take time, and yet it'll feed me. Today I want to share a smart thing with y'all that I think fits in that category of hunting. That if you feel like you need a deal or a listing today, whether it's through our contest or not, I want to share this really exciting one we have. Carrie, do you mind being like my Vanna White today?
yeah, I know, yeah. Yeah, do that.
So there is a smart plan published inside the library called When Are You Making a Move? That's that one on the screen there. This is the
Yeah.
pencil icon over there, right?
Okay.
I can show you what it looks like. It's a single email that goes out. And you can scroll down a little bit. It's a really simple question that just says, hey, contact first name, and the smart thing set where it will automatically put their name into it. I just want to check in and ask you a quick question. When are you looking to make a move? Now? Or number one, now. Number two, within the next 3 to 6 months. Number three, within 6 months to a year. Number four, I'm not interested in exploring my options. And then down below is a signature that will automatically put your contact information in. I was working with an agent who sent this out to his entire database, 5,000 people. And he's like, dude, I could not manage the amount of responses I got of the people that did say now who were not on my radar. He said, but overwhelmingly, like the majority of them did say within about 6 months. So there's that farming aspect. We can send this kind of out today. It seems like we're hunting. Again, it's gonna fill your pipeline for the next year. I would just challenge you that if you saw the results of the Simplicity's messages that we're sending out, it's just a matter of doing the activity. Send this out to as many people as you possibly can, your entire database. There's nothing to really lose here by sending this type of message out, because we're just checking in on them and just saying, hey, when you looking at a move. And what I love about this is it's just really simple. 1, 2, 3, or 4 people have not been offended or unsubscribed to this message at a high rate.
How do you get here? How do you get this?
So super easy. So this is inside of my command, but if you want to find this yourself,
What's the name of it?
just go to the Smart Plan Library, and it's called When You Making a Move, or if you go to the Smart Plan Library and search for me as the author, you'll find the same by name.
Is it an email or?
It's just an email. You can use this as a text if you want, how to coordinate, but the plan name says, when are you making a move? If you search that, it's on the library, or if you search my name, Sam Jackson, it'll come up as well.
So for those that aren't super familiar, if you go to command,
Yep,
and then you go to smart plans right here on the left,
yeah, we can demo.
right? You go to smart plans,
Yep, click on Smart Plans,
and then you go to library,
correct?
right? Right.
Click on Library first.
Yep.
And then
And
it's
then
like
you
Smart
search.
Plan.
You can search,
When are you
when
making a
are you
move?
getting? Even if you're.
Yes, yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, there's one.
You click on it.
You want it to be a wealth of knowledge? Sam Jackson.
Yeah, just change Smart Plan name to author. And then, yeah, I have so many in there. And speaking of Smart Plans
That's the
published,
jackpot right there.
it was pretty cool in there. Y'all help me out though, I don't get many like reviews. Like I have like 1,600 downloads on one of those 5-star reviews. Help a brother out, but
Yeah, but see right here, you can add that smart plan, whatever smart plan, that's how you add it to your smart plan.
Yeah.
Right from the library, so you add the smart plan and it downloads to yours, and you can either keep the name or edit the name, and now you can use it into your database.
And then click the pencil to edit.
yeah. Paper on them, they got way into this. And speaking. Oh, yeah.
It's gonna be Spanish language too, or you speak?
We don't have this one in Spanish, but we can probably do it really quickly.
Yeah, I can do it today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know Spanish, but I know ChatGPT.
Chat, is that those ChatGPT?
Yeah.
Converting the cause.
Yeah, essentially.
Well, you just can't edit it.
Somebody get yourself a Lucy. she's-
Have someone read it.
Yeah.
Love that.
And since we're on the topic of smart plans, as of this morning, I got it done, the new 36 touch for real. I got it done this morning.
Love that last year. This year,
I tell you what, like, that was a huge passion project for me last year. I love the new newsletters we're using this year. It's got a real cool look, and I saw my Facebook post, I think on Saturday I posted.
Yeah.
Really like classy looking version. If you thought last year was kind of like too poppy in color, this one's toned down, but awesome content. We've had great results from it. Yeah.
do we have any, are they just regular, I can't remember, is there any call to action in there? Just a curiosity.
So I didn't put like a super call to action, like a gotcha question.
Yeah, just like
small. Yeah, there is a real estate touch in all of it. It's very specific to real estate. I didn't want there to be an actual question for you, like if you found a response to what that we're talking about. There's no gotcha questions in the newsletters. But I do encourage you to read them. I actually shortened them this year. I didn't take away a lot of the content, but instead of being a 4-page newsletter, they're now a condensed 2-page, and it's a much cleaner, nicer look. And again, they're gonna be available in Spanish. We're gonna be working on it soon.
Are you gonna do a class soon on,
Yes.
on the, how to get the new, hold that up?
Yeah.
Like a workshop?
Yeah, how to get them done first. That was step 1. Number 2, we're gonna promote it. You're gonna have classes with us. We're gonna get everyone out and rolling. I'm also a big fan that I love to teach, but also I just love to do. If you get frustrated by smart plans, just give me your command log and I'll set out a different database to take you 2 seconds versus making it too formal.
I'm super grateful for Sam. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Tech is not my middle name at all. And Lucy, I've just not bugged Lucy as much. So I bugged Sam a lot, and he has just always been so willing to help. So big gratitude to you guys. Awesome.
Yeah, thank you. But like, don't miss that part.
Yeah. Marcy's here. I saw her come in.
Yes. So yesterday, Aaron and I went to a meeting, which was poorly attended, it should have been attended much better, at the board, about all this stuff that's happening with the lawsuits and everything, so you've been hearing about it. So far, we're in good shape, probably we're in better shape than a lot of places, because we have a buyer's agreement, a very strong buyer's agreement. And also our listing agreements are clear to say what percentage each party is getting. Now, understand that, I haven't seen this myself, but they're telling us that some of the listings in FMLS now are putting 0 for buyer companies, buyer agent compensation. So this is a conversation you need to have with your clients, your buyers and your sellers. When you meet with a seller to list a property, you need to explain to them the advantage of paying the buyer's agent. Because the buyer, this is, I've been doing it for so long, I can't remember, but the truth of the matter is they need to get buyers to their property. And the best way to get buyers to their property is through agents. So agents, if they say, I don't get anything here if I show this property, that means they got their buyer and then they got to have that conversation. So you're going to have be having these conversations with both your buyers and your sellers. Now, there's some really great advantages of being a realtor, which you may not be aware of. Yesterday, I went on this website. I've got all these websites written down, and I really don't, I'm not technical enough to bring them up and show you. But I found out that I could get a free website through November that would normally cost me $39. And so if you go there and look at what your advantages are, there are advantages to being a realtor. And that was one of the other things, if you're going on a trip, you get a hotel discount, you get a cell phone discount. We also have the legal helpline. I don't know if you're aware of that. But like, you don't have to ask all the questions of me. You can go and ask Seth Wiseman and he'll answer direct to you. If you go online to, I don't know, I'll send these things out to you. But I've done it plenty of times, and I couldn't figure out. I just go in there and ask him, doesn't have his name to it, but that's what it is. And it will answer the question for you. And it's almost, it's in within 24 hours. So there are lots of great advantages we have, and you wonder, what am I getting for my money? You are getting a lot of money, so I'm gonna send you a list of that by email, because I don't know exactly how to get, I saw it online yesterday, but I don't know how to get back to it, because I can't get, my password for realtor.com is so complicated, I can't get into it unless I'm on my computer where it automatically. Yeah, I understand that. My password's not safe, I can't get anywhere. Yeah, that's true, and I wrote a really good password. I don't know why.
I love that story that we heard yesterday about the realtor that her flight was canceled. She had to stay overnight in California. And she was looking at the hotels near the airport, near LAX, and they were $500 a night. And she was like, it was outrageous. She was only gonna be in the hotel room for 10 hours. She just didn't want to sleep in the airport. So she went on the website for the benefit of NAR and looked up the realtor discount for hotels in LA and got a hotel room at the exact same hotel that was advertising $550 a night. She got it for $150 a night. It basically paid for her entire dues that year because of the discounts available to realtors. So there's a lot of advantages. There's discounts and benefits from your local, state, and national boards that we don't take advantage of or know about a lot of times.
Exactly. So in fact, I was surprised with a lot of the things that you could get a computer with a discount. There are a lot of the discounts that have a real. So I'm gonna send you some links and you can look them up yourself and see what you can do. But the main thing is, it's important to be a realtor. It's also in so much better shape than a lot of these states where they don't even have buyer agreements. And that's the whole point, where buyers, sellers think they would be duped because they're being buyers agents and they didn't know it wasn't. So And I thought that was a great point, but I followed the lawsuit and the verdict and everything. But I guess it just didn't pick up on the fact that it was all about disclosure. And that there's only 5 states in the United States that has a required buyer's brokerage agreement that discloses, and listing agreement that discloses what the commission is and how it's being paid out.
Exactly.
So I thought that was interesting, that it was just, that it was disclosure, which we all do so much.
Carrie, you're saying we're one of the 5?
Yeah, we're one of the 5. That's why we're in better shape than a lot. That's why that lawsuit happened, is because the seller felt like he didn't understand that he was paying anybody other than his listing agent.
Like on our agreement, there's 2 sides, right side
Yeah.
buyers,
Yeah.
That has been wrong with the 90s. They change people all the time. So now it's pretty clear who's getting what. But that's a conversation you have to learn to speak to your clients with, so everybody's comfortable with the situation.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of money has been paid out of this lawsuit. I mean, millions of dollars. Gary Keller has not settled. A lot of these places are settled in these lawsuits, and we haven't had one that affects us yet. But be ready, it's gonna take some time, but just be sure that what you do is transparent for all parties, and that you know how to have that conversation.
To your point on where to find things, namar.org, most in this office are members of the Namar Board of Realtors.
Every agent in this office.
No,
Not every.
no, not every.
Not every.
Okay.
And Atlanta.
However,
I would use Neymar with NAR.
Okay.
Take out the letters after what's the thing. Sorry.
okay, so namar.org will also give you links to go directly to NAR and GAR and see all the different benefits, membership benefits that you've got, that we have available to us.
And Ricky, you're gonna
And-
send out a list of all of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna take all of
And
this.
she's gonna send,
I made good notes. Dina
Which
told
is
me to make
great.
really good notes.
but for those that like to find out right away.
Yeah. Thank you, Todd.
Thank you.
Okay, we've got super exciting things here, but Enrique is coming up for that. Not to say you're not excited.
Excuse me. So quick thing, Ruth, there is a stipulation that was sent to me, apparently, sent to Iceman put it together. And it's something that we may need, but you know, I want to run it by Melva and Ruth to make sure that it's something that we want to add to the contract that we're going to be putting in, you know, going forward. But anyways, well, excuse me, my voice hasn't been the same since I got sick. Anyway, 90 listings in 30 days. I'm not happy with the results. Can I say that? Is that okay?
Okay.
Now, we got that day, however, my expectation was that people were gonna come back the next day and do it again, right? And then the next day and do it again, and that didn't happen. So my question to you guys is this: if we can randomly put up texts and randomly send them to, I don't know how many people you guys sent them this morning, and get some phone calls and get some feedback, why are we not doing that on a regular basis? So that is what, like, you know, the program is great. You know, the thought behind it is great, you know, the activity is great, but actually doing it on a consistent basis, or not doing it on a consistent basis drives me bananas. Okay, can I say that? All right, so what were we talking about earlier? The texting, reaching out to your database, we have the smart plans coming up, the new 36 touch. It's all about what? Your database, your contacts, your activities, where you're supposed to be doing on a database, right? So let me show you. Where do we go? 6 habits for creating purposeful connections with your sphere. So if we can randomly pick up the phone, look at our phone and make some calls or send some text and get some great feedback and potentially appointments, can you imagine if we actually did it with purpose? If we actually meant to do it and we knew who the audience was, who the buyers were, who the sellers were, who the people that are our cheerleaders are. And who we're gonna be talking to everyone about reaching us when it comes to anything real estate, right? We actually had that in mind, and then we also have the activity. Can you imagine the results? Right? So let's take a peek. It's not the size of the database that matters. So let me ask you this, raise your hand if you have anything that resembles a database. All of you, right? Now, some of you have a big database, some of you have barely 201, okay? And if you don't have 201, please get to that point at least, right? But the question is, having X amount of contacts in your database doesn't do anything if you don't do anything with it. Does that make sense? Right? Now, you can have a database that's stacked with names, but unless you're creating real connections with those people, all that contact information is just data. And it's sitting there and it's not doing anything. Do you think that Google, Amazon, any of the search engines don't do anything with the data they have? Oh my goodness, they mine the heck out of it and they sell you stuff that you don't even want, that you don't even know you want, right? Now, I'm not saying that's what we need to turn into ourselves, but what if we actually had a purpose? And the purpose was to help as many people as we could get what they want, which is what? Sell their homes for the most money, quickest time, get the best deal out there if at all possible, and get the best rate if at all possible, and the best mortgage loan and all of those things. What if we actually reached out to all of those people that are still wanting to do that, and we have their back? You know, what are the results gonna look like, right? So there's a personal discipline that has to be developed around systematic touching of the database. It has to happen relatively systematically in order for there to be enough touches overall to get the people you see, the people to see you as front and center. In other words, real estate, Joe. Real estate, you gotta call Joe, right? Or whoever it is that those people relate to when it comes to real estate. All of us, right? Next. These are the 6 things. If you're not doing anything, take a picture of this if you don't mind. This is what needs to happen. We need to get purposeful about the data. In other words, do we really have the database labeled? Do we know who those buyers are? Do we know who those sellers are? Do we know who are the people that just bought last year? And they're not necessarily gonna be buying anything in the next, 6 or 7 or 8 years, but could actually send referrals, right? So get purposeful about the database. Don't be afraid to dump somewhere. Adding people to your database is not an endless habit, right? We shouldn't end up with 20 or 30,000 people in our database when we're done with our real estate career, right? If we didn't take anybody out. In other words, check your database once a year. Double check it. With the technology that we have nowadays, we can see who's opening the videos, who's looking at our emails, who's engaging, who is not, who has moved, who has bought something else without us. And maybe those people don't need to be in our database, right? What we need to do is make sure we trim it, we clean it, and we keep adding context to it, so we have a database that is live. That's commit to consistency. That's what I was talking about earlier. We had, how many appointments were set up that day?
We counted 20, but apparently there was more afterwards.
Apparently more. Why if we have that, if not every day, 3 times a week? How does that impact the office?
How did that impact their life?
Exactly, right? So that's what we're talking about here. So you have the resources, you have the systems, you have all the technology available to you, and yet a lot of us don't take advantage of it, right? Figure out who's in the game. Find out who is thinking about doing anything real estate wise. Have the conversation. The text that were sent this morning, that's specifically geared to that. Let me ask you this. Who was the person that sent any of those texts to at least 20 people this morning? However, you guys send it to 1 or 2 or 3, and some of you got a response. This is a numbers game. play the numbers, right? That's what we have. Create conversations about real estate. How do you do that? With your database. You just send text this morning, right? Create conversations about real estate. And the easiest way to do that in my mind is, how are you? How's your family? How's your work? Right? When you're having those conversations, because that in return comes back to you as well. How's your family? And how is work? And work for us is what? How's the market? How's real estate? Our sales? Are the rates? Are they starting the business? And we provide the information that we have available. Now we're having conversations. We're telling them exactly what is happening, and we're not no fluff, right? We're saying this is what's going on. People are still buying, people are still selling. Let me walk you through it so you can take advantage, right? And then number 6, prioritize your connections. Who is your target within your database? We all should have a core group within our database, right? The people that actually refer us all the time, the people that do business with that repeatedly, they get treated different. And one thing that you can do to move people from the other side is, this is what I do for the people that do business with me on a regular basis. How would you like to be a part of that, right? Make it enticing. But imagine this, if without a purpose we get business, imagine if we actually were purposeful about it. Okay, so kill it with this 90 listings in 30 days, but don't do it once. This is an ongoing thing, right? Now, somebody was complaining the other day and they said, can I really get a listing by the end of the year? I said, I don't know. But I know if you don't try, it's not gonna happen. But the worst thing that I see happening is, even if you don't get anything before the end of the year, you're gonna have a much better first quarter next year because of the activities you're doing today.
That's right, that's right.
So that's what I have for you, Chat North. Be good and let's do that.
So we would like to celebrate a huge milestone. We do like to celebrate milestones, periodically, right? And this one, I don't know, how many of you have heard of this, but when you reach a certain level, which is $1 million in GCI and gross commissions earned, that's something to celebrate.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, this is a big deal, and especially if you earn it before the end of the year. Is that a big deal?
Yeah.
So that means your end of the year is gonna be higher than $1 million in gross commissions earned. That's a big freaking deal, right? So the Peters team, we'd like to have them come up and celebrate. Right. You guys, who wants it? Like, we're gonna make you say something before we ask you some questions. Awesome. Do you want to say anything before everybody sits down? Yeah.
This is absolutely a team effort. I don't do any production at all anymore, so it's all them. And I really appreciate them, and if you have any questions, ask them anytime, because they'll be able to answer them. Yes, I do nothing anymore.
All right, well, we're gonna pick the brain here in a minute, so, all right, congratulations, guys. Pete. Okay. So how long have you been in business, Andy?
I've been in real estate for 14 years. I started here in 2009 and had left for 2 years and came back. So been doing real estate about long.
Okay, awesome. What was your first year of production?
$0. First year and a half was $0. I got a rental lead a year in, and I think I made $300 after a year and a half. And then, got a sale, a little bit after that. It was 09, so everything was crappy, nobody was buying. I didn't know what I was doing, so it all added up to me getting 0 sales.
Wow. How'd you feel about that?
Luckily, my wife was smarter and in corporate and made good money, so it didn't like, other than feeling like a failure, it wasn't pressure on the family or anything. But it sucked and I didn't know what I was doing. My first deal also was a clusterfuck, so. Before closing, he wasn't qualified for a loan. And I was like, oh man, it's my first deal in a year and a half. I don't know what I'm gonna do. And I went and told him, I was like, hey, the lender said you can't get a loan. And he was like, oh, okay, I'll just pay cash. So my first deal got closed because he had cash.
Wow. And that was in your first year and a half or after that?
That was the first closing that I had after my first rental.
Oh, okay, wow. What was your mindset like to be able to get through that time as you were starting out in your business?
You had attitude, wake up with the attitude of gratitude. I like to wake up with the attitude because it's, it motivates me. So like, I didn't want to fail. I, had people that, probably expected me to fail. I was a chef. I like was an idiot for 20 years and cooked and didn't do anything special. It took me like 4 times to pass my real estate license. So, there were probably people that were thinking I wouldn't make it, so that actually motivates me. So I was like, I can do this, I don't wanna fail, I wanna show people that I can, and then once it got rolling, I'm sure you guys have seen like, after you get one deal, then it all adds up and you start knowing what you're talking about. You don't have to, fake it till you make it anymore, and then it gets easier.
I love that. So, I love waking up with an attitude. That's pretty cool. So what was your production like last year, versus what it is this year? We know what it is right now, but what was it last year?
So last year we did 59 million. And this year I checked with one of the best 5 minutes ago. We're at 37 million. So we're a lot less than we were last year. It doesn't feel less, and I do a bad job tracking numbers, but it does motivate us to try to do 20 million this month to catch up.
Okay, do you have a plan for that?
Our plan is usually just work as hard as we can. So we don't have a proper plan. We don't do it the right way. But yeah, what we found is if we work hard, basically in the real estate, you can make as much money as you want to make as long as you work hard. So however that shows up, whether it's phone calls or networking or whatever, just treat it like a job.
I was just gonna ask, what does work hard look like for you and your team?
I think it's different for everyone on my team. So some people it's get a little more social media on. For me, it's going and having lunches and playing golf and, all the hard stuff with my friends. For other people, it's, making phone calls and, having a schedule to make phone calls and stuff like that. So everybody is different, just depends on what their niche and what their strength is.
I love that. So each person is an individual on the team doing what they love most.
Correct.
I love that. So you just mentioned when you were up here with the team that you're not in production anymore.
No.
When did you earn the right to step out of production?
When I was brave enough to trust my team to do it without me having to be hands-on for everything. So I'm still hands-on as far as problems. My team thinks I'm stupid and wired wrong because I like confrontation. So whenever there's a problem with somebody else, that's when I come in. But other than that, it's, at one point I just had to realize that I can't handle doing everything and that I just started giving the agents stuff to do and, just trust that they do it. And there's still hiccups here and there. There's still times when, you know, I'm like, oh, maybe I could have done it better, but overall, like, that's erased from my mind and I had to just accept that.
I love that. And for 2024, do you have a goal for gross commission and for volume yet?
Yeah, so it was our same goal this year and we failed miserably, but it'd be $100 million, for sales and whatever that equates to in the gross commission, because I figured if you reach 100 million, then everybody's fed and everybody's happy.
I would say so.
Yeah.
What are 3 specific action items that you feel that every agent could take away from here with you that they should implement in their business right now that is working for you?
Do whatever works for you. You know, there's a million different ways to go out there and do things. There's, you know, cold call, there's follow up with leads, there's using your CRM and smart plans and everything, but it's whatever works for you best, whether it's, you know, talking to your friends or networking or making those calls, just do what works for you, but still try other things. Like, there are things throughout my career that I didn't believe would work. And I just wasn't at the right place at the right time. So like, everything you hear here, you'll probably use at some point. It might not be at that moment, but keep it in mind. So once you hit the plateau and you're like, I need to reach the next level, then add something in that you learn from here to reach that next level.
So you're saying, don't be afraid to try something that you're comfortable with, to be able to go where your feet are deep.
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of what I heard.
Yeah, kind of, but just like, it just. Yeah, you can do stuff that's uncomfortable, but do stuff that works for you. Not everything doesn't work for everybody. So, like I said, we're kind of, we dabble in everything. I throw a lot of money around that's wasted, but I try, mailers that doesn't work, and I try phone calls, and I'll do 2 phone calls in an hour, which is useless, so. But like, just do whatever works for you and use the best use of your time to get the best return.
So stay true to yourself with the things that you love to do, first and foremost.
Yeah.
Start there. That's so powerful. What is your biggest challenge in the business right now?
I'd say it's my $100 million goal. I've had it for a few years and I think 3 years ago I had 57, last year I had 59, and this year I have 37. So it's a challenge. And my goal, like, if you talk to coaches, they'll be like, if you want to reach 100 million, add more agents. And that isn't my goal. My goal is to help the agents we have grow to 100 million. So it's a little bit different. But that's the biggest challenge. I think it's breaking through that. But we're working on it. We're trying different things.
Okay, so what's working the best for your team right now?
Honestly, probably nothing, because we have 20 million less than we did last year. Nothing we tried new is exactly working yet, but we're trying. So we're attempting different things, and we're trying to reach our goals, and some of the producers are producing more this year than they were. We're staying busy, which is good. I think the biggest thing, so if we're saying one thing that works is keep doing your social media, is because for some of y'all, you'll do social media and you'll get a quick response and you'll get leads, my team does. For me, I do social media, I'll get like 15 likes and nobody will say anything. But like yesterday, I went to have lunch with a friend and they're like, I see you're busy, I see you guys are still busy. And they notice, depends on your friends, like my 45-year-old guy friends aren't, liking my posts and commenting on them. But when I see them, they'll be like, yeah, we noticed that you're still busy, we know it's a tough market, and it's impressive that your team is still doing stuff. So just keep at it. Social media is really important for our team, and I think that's probably what works the best.
What I hear is that you're consistent, because I think every team has its own culture and its own personality, right? And when you find something that you really do well, it sounds like that might be social media. It doesn't have to be one thing, but it could be a good thing. It sounds like it's social media for you guys, and you're consistent at it.
semi-consistent, like I'll remember to do it and I'll do like 3 posts in 1 week and then I won't do it for 4 weeks and then I'll do it again, but the rest of the team is really consistent.
Okay, yeah, they back you up, so that's great, that's great.
And you guys do a lot of events.
We do big events, they,
Food
I
truck or
don't-
something?
I have a food truck, yes, that I store, but, it's been a little while, but we allow our clients to use it for moving, which no one's used yet either, so. But just do whatever works, our events are big, we don't necessarily get a ton of leads return like immediately from the events, but people notice and people wanna be a part of it, so. Like we did a event for a pickleball tournament and we had probably 80 people show up and, it was a lot of fun. And it's just a way for us to get together. We met a few new people, but yeah, it's a good time.
I love that. What consistent daily habits other than social media do you guys do?
Not much consistent daily habits. So I think our biggest closest to daily habit that we would do is that when everybody on our team gets stressed out to a point that we can't take it, we'll go drink it together. So people will think that our team just drinks and doesn't work, but yes. Yeah, so there will be days when like we've had like a tough week or a few people have a tough week and they're like, we're going drinking today.
I'm done.
And so. But with real estate habits, I would say, you know, just trying to keep on it.
What I love about you is that you're so authentic and you're real, right? And you're gonna reach a different audience than I would probably, right? So, and it takes all different types. If you guys are hearing that, that is what makes this work, right? I mean, yeah, he goes drinking during the day, but it's not working well. Right? Okay. So what I love about that is that he's authentically real. And they have, this picture is one of my favorite real estate pictures ever, because it shows the culture and the personality of your team. Right? So I think it's fantastic and I so appreciate your authenticity. I really, really do. Any questions or, what do you go by, Andy or Andrew?
Andy.
Andy, so another Andy.
With the other Andy was
I
here.
know, I know,
had to
that's
go by Andrew, but now he's gone, so.
Yeah.
Well, I just like to say how proud I am of Andy, because I remember when he came, we had some very strong conversations about his poor real estate skills. Really good team. I talked to members of his team frequently, and they're all working hard, so he's got some kind of motivation he's got going there.
Yeah.
High fiber real estate.
Yeah. That's a great.
Do you have a lead partner?
No,
How many coaches did you say you had?
I've had 4 coaches, I hate them all.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, you said a lot. What makes you great?
What makes me
You might,
great?
I think you're great, you're great, but really.
He thinks he's great.
That's kind of my superpower. So like, I get a feeling of how a deal's going before it happens. So that's where like, if I can kind of read between the lines, and if there's a situation where we need to get ahead of it, I somehow am able to do that. It's a superpower that works most of the time. I'm wrong sometimes, but it works most of the time.
That's pretty cool.
What do you find that you had to stop doing in order to become successful?
I had to stop trying to do everything myself. So, and I think that's the biggest thing, and I think that's why our team is growing, is that because I do no production, I'm not competing against anyone. Every deal that I have goes to them. But when we meet with people, we're like, leads is not what you come to the team for. I always tell people that I'm very biased on my leads. I give them to the top producers. So you have to produce to get leads. But yeah, that's, the goal is to put the team first and then everything else will follow.
I think you just answered my question, so I was gonna say, what does leadership mean to you? But I think you answered it pretty well.
It means, you know, protect them. Sometimes I look like an idiot. Sometimes I jump in a conversation and then I'm totally wrong, but as long as I'm on their side, it doesn't matter. And Ruth does that for us too. So I don't have to deal with Ruth. I was gonna say, for gratitude, I have like 3 or 4 things, and every time I call Ruth, I'm like, yeah, you know, it's not a happy, I need to call her one time and just be like, hey, Ruth, I just wanted to make sure you had a good day. But she always backs us, you know, and we always, like, every deal that we have to go to Ruth is gonna be some messed up weird situation that we couldn't handle ourselves, that a broker needs to talk to a broker, but she's always got our side, so it's awesome.
He didn't tell you that even when he went to another company, I was still brokering it because I saw it signing, it's not legal. So I'm.
Protected you. Still does it out. So, any other questions? Thank you so much.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know, like, what was the point that you realized you couldn't do everything by yourself, or you felt confident that you could pick the right people to create your team?
I couldn't do everything myself so our big thing on our team is service, is making sure that we provide a good enough service, a great enough service that our clients will refer business to us, because that's our only resource for us. So when I felt like I was too overwhelmed to be able to provide that service, that's when I looked for my first agent. And then what was the second part of the question?
I was just gonna say, like, at what point in your real estate career did you feel confident that you could bring people onto your team, I guess?
And choose the right people.
Yeah, and choose the right people.
So I did it totally wrong. Every team you'll ever hear, any team leader will always say they did it totally wrong many times. And I did it totally wrong many times. So, I still don't really choose. People come, and depending on that moment, if it's the right moment, then I just almost accept anybody on the team. And that's a reputation I have that's bad. Like, if you go out there and talk to someone that doesn't like me, there's a bunch of them out there, just like, he accepts everyone, you know, he doesn't care. It's just like, but the good ones usually filter out. I mean, we're all independent contractors at the end of the day, so if you don't do your work, you're not making money, you know, so I don't, like, now I'm a little pickier, and by being a little pickier, I just don't look for people instead of looking for the right people. But yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't think I was ever ready. I just had to take them with the thing. I had to be like, hey, I don't have enough manpower. I don't have enough bandwidth to do this, so I gotta find someone to help. Yeah. Which may be the wrong way, but it's probably better to read the MREA book and understand how to build it. We have 13 people on our team right
How
now.
much leverage do you have for your 13?
How much?
Like your admin or.
I have
Transaction coordinator or.
one transaction coordinator and 2 admin. Yeah, but they're aging on the team, so that's also not the right way to do it, because sometimes they'll get busy and then all of our no admin and, you know, transaction coordinator, so. But yeah, I mean, it's how we've done it and it works so far. I think the one thing a coach said, so I hate all my coaches, but they teach me one little thing here and there. And one thing they said was to give the team members responsibilities. You know, so they can help your team grow, and that's what I try to do. Maybe the wrong way, but it works so far.
Sounds like a pretty good coach.
Yeah, sounds like a little bit. Anybody else have a question? Was this good? Yeah, great. Thank you guys. It's a little bit longer than normal, but I think it was super awesome. And hopefully we love your information, right?
Yeah. So funny,
That's
so
so great.
authentic, and
So
I
great.
love it. So we all, Kim talked about her agent caravan, highlights and classes. O'Killion's are here tomorrow for the leather listed for human buyers, sellers, and diamonds, or divorces. Also, Reese Morgan is gonna be here at 11. The ALC teaches tomorrow. It's the power of the Sunday night plan. So plan on staying for both of those tomorrow from 10 all the way to 12:30. And then also wanted to highlight Terry's class with vision boards for reality manifestation lab.
Reality manifestation.
Lab.
But it's 12 to 12, not 1 to 2.
Oh, I'm sorry.
don't have the onward.
I didn't have that one, but we talked about it onward tomorrow, and I'll send out more reminders of that.
And we have Friday with Aubrey too.
And then, 36 touch class. On Thursday, I'm teaching, it's my favorite class to teach, touch class, and I come with a lot of examples on what you can do throughout the year to communicate with your database. I love that class, and come spend some time with me. And then Aubrey, will be here from 2 to 4, 10 ways to find off-market listings. So those are some special highlights. And remember, tomorrow, if you're not at Fold, North Atlanta, we have the, onward Freddie Mac. Yeah.
All right, I love some Eric Thomas. I don't know if you guys listen to him, but he's one of my rock stars. So here's a minute to kick us off and go on our way.
Stuff on lunch over there. Hey, awesome. Thank you so much. This website is Hulu Man. Hulu Man. So it's like Fashion Nova competitor kind of thing. You know, probably like maybe a sweatshop. I have no idea, but it's cheap clothes. Oh, okay. They look nice. Thank you. Oh, shit. Yeah. That one does not look like good, only. If the income, as income getting all of their income and the income is based on stress. Other if it's just. Make that a requirement.
Yeah.
Now, it's illegal, right? Heard it somewhere. I was done it, but I wasn't sure. So, I'm sure people shop, they are also sold it.
Seems really good. I mean, there might be the real.
Oh, my God.